All right, welcome back to the chat. So, channel, not the chat. Welcome back to the channel. Shawn Porter says he is open to, plans to move up to 154 pounds, and a fight with Jermell Charlo for all three of those belts that he has would be welcome. He also said that he believes that he would be much stronger at 154 pounds than he was in 147, and that he is actually sacrificing a lot of his ability at 147. So let's talk about that. And because I do know that Shawn Porter, unlike y'all people trying to protect Terence Crawford, would definitely try to go up there and get that smoke with Jermell Charlo. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back, man. I've been having so much fun talking about Jermell Charlo, talking about the 154-pound division, talking about the 147-pound division. With Jermell Charlo's win over Jason Rosario, it just opened up so many things in those divisions. I had been talking about, even though nobody agrees with me, I'm just out there hanging by myself in the wind, like the only person in the world that sees that Terence Crawford can immediately get a shot at the WBO 154-pound title and be right there to fight Jermell. However, there is a 147-pounder that is saying, look, man, I ain't got no problem with that. I go up there and fight Jermell. And in fact, Shawn Porter was going so far as to talk about the flaws that the Charlos have, right? That he thinks that he would be able to take advantage of. I mean, since he's mentioning him, he must believe that he would have the ability to take advantage of him. So first things first, Jermell Charlo cleaned out the 154-pound division. And now, hey, man, Undisputed is right there. What Porter says is, look, I have already been at 154, and because he started his career at 154, and he said that he was actually much stronger at 154 than he was at 147. And that the reason for that was that when he moved down so he could get a shot at because, you know, the 147-pound division is usually the money division. That's so people want to be in that division. They want to be in middleweight. They want to be at welterweight. They want to be at heavyweight. They want to be at lightweight. 130 guys are always trying to get to 130s are trying to get to 35. 140s are going to get their paydays when they get to 147, right? Things like that. So 154 is usually, hey, man, big money is at 160 and at 147. So got some guys that believe that they can get down to 147 who could fight at 154, come down to 147 and make their career there. That's what Shawn Porter said he did. But when he moved down to 147, that he noticed that the guys were just a lot faster than the guys at 154. So he started sacrificing, sitting down on his punches and hurting the guy for letting his hands go faster so that he could score more points or he could keep the smaller, faster man at bay. But that's his take about why he believes that he can get to 154 pounds and perform at 154 pounds very well. And also, just like Terence Crawford, but I think Shawn Porter apparently sees it himself, is that there's a lot for him to gain to go to 154 pounds, because that is the shortest route to becoming a 3-belt holder and to becoming an undisputed fighter, because there's not as many stars at 154. There is now one star at 154. A bunch of really good fighters and one star. That one star is Jermell Charlo. Now that Jermell Charlo is a star and Jermell Charlo is on pay-per-view, and you know that a matchup between you and he can end up on pay-per-view, right? Jermell Charlo is now a much more attractive fight. That is an easier route for Shawn Porter to get a shot at these titles than it is for him to fight somebody, wait for Errol to fight Danny, then hopefully the WBC will, enforce their mandatory. That I think that they will actually order the mandatory and can get another shot at Errol Spence, and that Errol Spence would still just be for 2 belts, right? Shawn Porter, and it's not a 50-50 split. if he moves up, if Shawn Porter goes up to fight Jermell Charlo, he could get a shot at 3 belts, and it would be a 50, and it would be a 50-50 split. Now, what people will say, and I know that this is what you're going to say, because this is what you said about Terence Crawford. He's too small. He's too small. It's going to be a mismatch. It's going to be a mismatch. I don't want to hear that. Okay, I'm not on that. I don't believe that that's the way to look at it when a guy is at 147 and the other guy is at 154. Now, the world would be better if this was same day weigh-ins, so you know that Jermell shouldn't really be fighting at 160 and Jermell at 168. But if that was the case, shoot, Jermell, everybody else just moves up one weight class. So I don't believe that just one weight class should be like that. The best guys at 147 should not be taken seriously when they're talking about moving up in the fighting the best guys at 154. I'm telling you, man, if Josh Taylor at 140 was out there saying, I'm going to go up there, what I'm going to do is I'm moving to 147, I'm going to beat Terence Crawford, then I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to beat Jermell Charlo. There would be a whole bunch of people that would be out there screaming. Sorry about that. My dog was barking, broke up my thing again, man. It is what it is. You work from home, you're going to have noises break you up. But where was I? So anyway, let's just go to what would happen in the fight, dude. I would favor Shawn Porter. I mean, Jermell Charlo to beat Shawn Porter for sure. But Shawn Porter is such a tough, strong fighter that I think that he could put up a good fight. But more importantly than what I think, Shawn Porter thinks that he can put up a good fight. And so why do I say that? If you guys recall, I did a video, man, maybe it was the day before yesterday, or maybe it was yesterday, where Shawn Porter was talking about Demetrius Andrade and a fight between Demetrius Andrade and Jermell Charlo, and why, and he explained that he believed that Demetrius Andrade would beat Jermell Charlo. The things that he pointed to were related to the agility and the footwork of the Charlos. And he didn't just say Jermell, he said the Charlos. He said what you find with the Charlos is that they'll have difficulty with boxers. If you're moving your feet and you're constantly making them move and try to find you, that they have difficulties with that. Now, who could they be pointing to? Obviously, he's going to be pointing to Tony Harrison with the Jermell fight, because you did see Tony Harrison having Jermell walk into some things, making Jermell miss, slipping punches from Jermell. And a lot of people thought before the knockout before Jermell knocked him out in the last fight, that Tony Harrison was on his way to winning the fight. So they just thought that, so Shawn Porter believes that slickness is the thing that will cause the Charlos problems. Well, if you've been paying any attention to how Shawn Porter has been fighting over the last several fights, definitely the Yordenis Ugas fight and the Danny Garcia fight, he was very much outboxing, slipping, moving. Even in the Errol Spence Jr. fight, when he got on the back foot and he slipped nicely off the ropes from Errol Spence Jr., he showed that he had the ability to move and slip and do that. And I also have a suspicion that he believes that Errol Spence Jr. and Jermell Charlo are somewhat similar to one another in their abilities, even though Jermell Charlo is obviously an orthodox fighter, which might make it easier from that standpoint for Shawn Porter, and that he's a bigger fighter, but he's not as much of a volume puncher as Errol Spence Jr. is. So he might feel like he can be just as successful against Jermell Charlo as he could be against Errol Spence Jr. And he was very effective against Errol Spence Jr. So all in all, man, I think that that Shawn Porter's saying this is a smart move for him. Right now, he's like at number 4 in the welterweight division. As far as people saying who the best are and who they want to see, he is behind Errol, Terence Crawford, and definitely Manny Pacquiao. So it can't do anything but help him, especially if, like he said, he feels comfortable in the 154-pound division, if he feels stronger in the 154-pound division, and if he believes that his agility and experience, because man, he's had just as many tough fights and good fights as Jermell has. So the experience Jermell has So the experience level is also very equal. All in all, man, I like this out of Shawn. We'll see what happens. You let me know what you think, though, in the comment section. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel as subscribers, as channel members. Thank you to everybody that supports in the Patreon. They come by the live streams for non-live Monday through Friday and Sunday mornings and support in the Super Chat and the Cash App. Thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.